Hey everyone, welcome back to Treasure Finds. I'm genuinely excited about today's video because we're kicking off a special three-part series that could literally save you thousands if you're planning to sell valuable coins. I still remember the first truly valuable coin I ever held, an 1889 CC Morgan dollar I found in my grandfather's desk drawer. When I finally decided to sell it years later, man, I made some rookie mistakes that probably cost me thousands. I don't want you making those same mistakes. So here's the plan. This three-part series is going to be your complete guide to selling coins successfully. Today in part 1, we're focusing on the absolute foundation, figuring out what you actually have and what it's really worth. We'll get into identification techniques, how to assess condition, when to use professional grading services, and researching current market values. Parts 2 and 3 will dive into different selling methods and some advanced strategies. But today, let's start with the most fundamental question every collector faces. What exactly do you have in your hands, and what could it be worth to the right buyer? I'll attach all the resources and links in the video description. This is going to be comprehensive. We're covering every aspect of valuation in detail. So grab something to take notes with, get comfortable, and let's jump right in. Understanding what you have. Before you can sell anything, you need to know precisely what you're holding. Sounds obvious, right? But here's the thing. The difference between an ordinary coin and one worth thousands can sometimes come down to tiny details most people completely miss. Let me give you a perfect example with Lincoln cents. Most are worth exactly 1 cent, just face value. But change one small detail, and suddenly you're looking at serious money. Take the 1922 Lincoln cent. These were only supposed to be minted in Denver with a small D mint mark. But the dies got worn down during production, and some were struck without any visible mint mark. These 1922 plain cents, they now sell for anywhere from $500 to $20,000 depending on condition. That's a pretty big difference from 1 cent. Or check out the 1955 doubled die cent. From across the room, it looks exactly like any other penny from that year. But look closely, and you'll notice all the lettering and numbers appear doubled, the result of a minting error. That single mistake makes these pennies worth between $1,000 and $50,000 today. Not bad for pocket change, right? Here's something that trips up a lot of collectors. Sometimes what looks like damage can actually be a valuable error. What might seem like a scratch could actually be a die crack that happened during minting. What looks like off-center damage might actually be a valuable off-center strike, error that collectors will pay premium prices for. So how do you figure out exactly what you have? You'll need good reference materials. The Red Book, officially called a Guidebook of United States Coins, has been the standard reference since 1946. It's updated every year and covers pretty much every U.S. coin ever made, with photos, mintage numbers, and approximate values. For deeper research, websites like PCGS Coin Facts, NGC Coin Explorer, and USA Coin Book are absolute gold mines of information. They have high-resolution images that let you compare your coins to authenticated examples. These sites are especially helpful for identifying those varieties and errors that can dramatically increase a coin's value. The condition factor. Now let's talk about something that can make or break your coin's value, condition. A coin's condition, or grade, can impact its value by literally thousands of %. The standard today is the 70-point Sheldon scale, ranging from poor, 1 for coins that are barely identifiable, to MS, 70 for absolutely perfect specimens. Let me show you how dramatic this can be with a real example. A 1921 Morgan silver dollar in heavily worn condition, what we'd call good for, might sell for around $30 to $35. The exact same coin in uncirculated condition, let's say MS 63, could fetch $65 to $75. And if you happen to have an exceptionally well-preserved example graded MS 65, you're looking at $150 to $175. That's a 5-fold increase based solely on condition. And this condition premium gets even more extreme with rarer coins. A 1916 D Mercury dime in worn good for condition might sell for $1,000 to $1,200. That same coin in uncirculated MS 63 condition, you're looking at $25,000 or more. That's why accurately assessing condition isn't just important. It's absolutely crucial when you're selling valuable coins. Professional grading services. This brings us to professional grading services. Honestly, one of the biggest game changers in coin collecting over the past few decades. These third-party companies authenticate your coins, grade their condition according to standardized criteria, and seal them in tamper-evident plastic holders, what collectors affectionately call slabs. The two big players in the grading world are PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Together, they handle about 90% of all professionally graded coins. There are other reputable services too, like Anax and ICG. So why would you get your coins professionally graded? A few really important reasons. First, authentication. These experts confirm your coin is genuine, not a counterfeit or altered piece. This is huge in today's market where I've seen some frighteningly good counterfeits coming out of places like China. Second, objective grading. Even experienced collectors like me can disagree about a coin's grade, and those differences can mean hundreds or thousands of dollars. A professional grader takes away that subjectivity. And third, graded coins just sell easier and often for more money. Buyers have way more confidence when that coin comes in a slab with a certification number they can verify. So should you get your coins graded before selling? Well, it depends. Grading typically costs between $20 and $75 per coin, depending on the coin's value and how fast you want it back. Standard service might take 30 days, while express services can get it done in as little as 24 hours, for a premium price, of course. As a general rule of thumb, I recommend considering professional grading for coins that have a potential value of at least $200 to $300 in their expected grade, are rare or historically significant pieces, have characteristics that make authentication particularly important, are modern coins where condition is everything, like modern proof coins. The grading process itself is pretty straightforward. You submit your coins either directly to the grading service or through an authorized dealer. Expert graders examine them, encapsulate them in those tamper-evident holders, and send them back to you. Each graded coin gets a unique certification number that can be verified in the company's database. Quick but super important tip: never, ever clean your coins before submission, or really, ever. I've seen so many valuable coins ruined by improper cleaning. Professional graders actually prefer original surfaces, even with natural toning or patina. A cleaned coin will get a lower grade and may be marked as cleaned on the holder, which absolutely tanks its market value. Determining current market value. Once you know what you have and understand its condition, you need to figure out what it's actually worth in today's market. Coin values are constantly changing based on supply and demand, precious metal prices, collector trends, and the broader economy. There are several resources you can use to get pricing information. The Red Book we talked about earlier gives general retail values, but since it's published once a year, those numbers can get outdated pretty quickly. Online resources are updated much more frequently. The PCGS Price Guide and NGC Price Guide show retail values for coins in various grades, while the Gray Sheet, what used to be called the Coin Dealer Newsletter, shows wholesale prices, basically what dealers typically pay when buying coins. But honestly, the most accurate way to figure out current value is to check recent auction results for similar coins. Sites like Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, and even eBay keep searchable records of past sales. When you're looking at these comparable sales, make sure you're comparing apples to apples. Same date and mint mark. Same variety or type. Same grade and grading service. Any special designations, like full bands for Mercury dimes or full head for standing Liberty quarters. Now, remember that retail prices, what dealers charge collectors, are always higher than wholesale prices, what dealers pay when buying. As a seller, you should realistically expect to receive somewhere between 60% and 90% of retail value, depending on the coin and how you choose to sell it. For coins that get a lot of their value from precious metal content, like gold coins or silver dollars, the melt value creates a solid price floor. You can calculate this using current metal prices and the coin's weight and purity. There are tons of websites and apps that can help you with these calculations. Just be aware that some coins carry significant premiums above their melt value because of rarity, historical significance, or collector demand. For example, a common date St. Gaudens $20 gold piece contains about 0.9675 troy ounces of gold, worth around $1,935 at current gold prices of $2,000 per ounce. But these coins typically sell for $2,200 to $2,400 in uncirculated condition. That's a premium of 15 to 25% over just the gold value. Let's take a quick second to recap what we've covered in this first part of our series. Before selling your valuable coins, you need to identify exactly what you have, including any varieties or errors. Understand the condition of your coins and how dramatically it affects value. Consider professional grading for your more valuable pieces. Research current market values using multiple sources. We've now laid the groundwork for successfully selling your valuable coins by properly identifying what you have and determining their true market value. Remember, taking the time to understand exactly what you possess is absolutely the single most important step in maximizing what you'll get when you sell. In our next video, we'll dive into all the different ways you can sell your coins, from local coin dealers and major auction houses to direct collector sales and online marketplaces. We'll compare the pros and cons of each approach and help you figure out which method might work best for your specific coins and situation. If you found this information helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to make sure you don't miss parts 2 and 3 of this series. And if you have questions about coin identification or valuation, drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to address them in future videos. Until next time, this is your host with Treasure Finds, helping you turn pocket change into financial wisdom.